back again for episode 2 of Around the Colosseum. I am your referee, Erwin the Fourth, and here as always with me, Johnny Aman. How you doing, Johnny?
Oh, not too bad, Aaron. I'm glad we've made it to episode 2. I mean, we didn't get canceled after the first one. That's a plus.
Well, we might get canceled after this one. We got a pretty jam-packed show. We got some controversial people on this one. We got our very own Guy Sterling of the Gold-Blooded Killers that we're interviewing. So I'm pretty sure he's going to have some choice words to say.
I mean, not only Guy, but we have Referee of the Year and participant in the ITV Championship match, Martin Justice, along with, like you wanted last time, the Commissioner.
Nice. Yeah, I've got some questions for him that I definitely want to ask him. Hopefully I'll still have a job and I'll be able to see you January 20th at Nuclear Warfare. All right, so let's talk about this card that we actually have coming up on January 20th at Nuclear Warfare. It seems like it's going to be a pretty packed show. You've got Jason Simon versus Father Padge, which we just found out is now a no DQ match.
Yeah, and Jason Father Padge has said he'll leave Empire if he loses.
Wow. And he put that pressure on himself. And apparently everyone's greatest sweetheart now, Tyler Watts, apparently is in a match with Ozzy Hendricks. I think Ozzy wants to finally shut his mouth up.
Why possible?
Yeah. And again, like the commissioner said, we've got Tank Bronson versus Trench Blight for the vacant EPW International Championship. I'm guessing Tank's trying looking for a little bit of revenge after what happened after Black Flag Rising caused them to lose the tag team titles.
Definitely don't blame him there. I mean, I'd want revenge myself.
Yep. Now, Fatal 4-Way coming up for the vacant EPW Internet Television Championship, which is now a 10-minute time limit match. You've got Martin Justice, our referee of the year, Wranglerette, the baddest man in Oklahoma, Bud Barnes, and one half of the Psychotic Messengers, and Sure Shot Briefcase winner Malachi. That's going to be an interesting match.
I mean, it's a 10-minute time limit, but my money's on Wranglerette, even though Martin Justice has that fire like we heard in our interview.
Yeah, absolutely. And then quite possibly the sleeper match is going to be that triple threat match for the EPW All-American Championship, El Gallardo Uno versus Dam versus the current champion, Adrian Vega. I have a feeling this was going to be a barn burner.
Oh, yeah. Vega always shows up and shows out. Gallardo Uno, amazing luchador. And then Dam, what do you have to say about that?
Damn. Yep, and we got the Saints of Pro Wrestling taking on BMF, their newly crowned tag team champions for the EPW Tag Team Championship, thanks to our commissioner.
And that match, the special guest referee, so you got that match off, is Duncan Kincaid, special timekeeper, the baddest man in Oklahoma, Bud Barnes.
Wow, so BMF's definitely going to have their work cut out against them that night. Then for our EPW Heavyweight Championship, we've got Tommy Too Good trying to take the title away from Montego Sika of the Gold-Blooded Killers.
And I assume Guy Sterling's going to be ringside with that. So yeah. Tommy Too Good's got his two hands full right there.
Absolutely. And then the match of the night, the match we've all been waiting for, Nuclear Warfare. You've got Duncan Kincaid, Badger James, Jean-Claude, Jack Talos, Gemini, the Prince Romeo Reese, and two mystery entrants that I'm guessing we won't find out until the night of.
I mean, my two guesses for those mystery entrants is Shadow Gemini, because he said he's going to be there, and Mitch Onyx is, again, Mitch isn't on the card, and we know Guy Sterling's Gold-Blooded Killers travel in packs.
No. Absolutely. I wouldn't put it past them. Either way, it's going to be one hell of a show coming up on January 20th at the Southern Oaks Rec Center for Nuclear Warfare.
Doors open at 6. Tickets are available online. Click the link below.
Absolutely. Johnny, I can't wait to see you there.
Exactly. So how about we go ahead and jump into our little interview with Martin, which, I mean, let's see how that gone.
No, absolutely. Yeah, let's check him out. I actually want to hear what he has to say, especially as a ref. I want to hear his thoughts on this whole 10-minute time limit thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with us now we have
Martin Justice. This is just going to be an audio portion. Mr. Justice, just so you know, I am recording our phone call right now. To start off, congratulations on winning Ref of the Year for EPW.
Yes, it's been a long time coming. I've been a part of EPW going on my 4th year, and it's been a lot of hard work, and it's also been a group of guys, production, other refs, sound, man, even you, Johnny, man, you're in that ring with me a few times, announcing. So, it took a lot of people to make this happen, so I'm grateful for the fans that vote.
Yeah, you said I was in the ring announcing. I was up for Announcer of the Year award, but I lost to Anthony. Maybe I can cinch that next year.
Yeah, I think I got a chance. You got a good chance.
Let's get down to why we called you today. You're going up against Wrangler Rhett, Bud Barnes, and Malachi for the vacant Internet Television Championship for EPW. You put out a video saying you think that's the right thing, but is that really how you feel? Like, you don't feel entitled to a solo match or anything like that?
This thing all started back in September. It saw lifted me wide open with a pair of brass knuckles. But the guy told the commissioner he seems to be ducking. Didn't want to have the match. So on the road, Mr. Commissioner decided he was going to strip Red James of the ITV championship. You know what? That's his choice. Do I like it? No. It's just, to me, it's just not giving the fans what they deserve.
Funny to mention that. What do you think they do deserve? Were you thinking something like maybe a tournament or something? Or should they just hand the title over to you?
No, I don't want the title handed to me. I want the title earned. Like I said, I've been with this company for going my 4th year. I've had some crazy matches. Of course, even against my son. The fans deserve. Now, do I agree with the decision as far as denying me that match with Red James? Yeah.
Now, you mentioned your son, which we'll get to him in just a little bit. But sticking with the ITV championship, the commissioners came out and put a 10-minute limit on all ITV matches. As not only a ref, but a wrestler, how do you feel about that?
I agree with it. But, they're giving us 10 minutes. A 10-minute time limit. That means that's 10 minutes of beating the holy hell out of each other. Now, as far as Rhett, great competitors. Bud Barnes, we have a little history. Malachi, never faced him. So I couldn't tell you what to expect. I know.
Now that I had no doubt. Now I'm new here, Martin, and first is again, congratulations again on winning the Ref of the Year. I'm looking forward to it next year, competing with you on it. But I just found out recently that Tyler Watts is your son, and I was looking on your Facebook page and said that you kind of mentioned Central All Pro Wrestling as well. Just trying to find out, you were part of that, or did your boy just get knocked on the table one time too many? Because he had some choice words for me when I was reffing his match.
Well, a year ago when we concept, we have to dot our I's and cross our T's. But with his actions and the way the direction he's taken CAPW, I don't want a part of it.
Okay, so from one father to another, you're saying that this is just a kid lashing out, just trying to do his own thing.
He's trying to do his own thing. You know what? Eventually, it's going to catch up with him.
Fair enough, I can understand that, but you have nothing to do with it.
Well, Martin, thank you for this. Thank you for your time. We'll see you January 20th at EPW Nuclear Warfare 4. All right, folks, there you have it. There's what Martin has to say about his upcoming match. Erwin, what do you think about what he said?
No. I mean, he made some valid points. I mean, it's not fair. Again, he's been hounding Red James this whole time. I mean, he's going with it, but He's a team player. I'll give him that, but he definitely doesn't seem like he likes it.
And it's not like he's after the championship. He's after Red James. James left him busted open, you know?
Yeah, I mean, turnabout's fair play. I think that's really what it is. The championship was just a reason for him to have the match. But at the end of the day, I think he just wanted Red James get his final hands on him. He seems to be just as confused about this whole 10-minute time limit thing, too. So we're definitely going to have to see if we can get some better answers from the commissioner.
I mean, we do talk to the commissioner about that later on in the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can't wait to hear what he has to say about that.
Now, the other guy, our other guests, I say the other guy, he is the guy, Sterling.
The only guy that you hear before you actually see.
And I don't know if I want to do either.
Exactly.
Well,
I mean, let's go ahead on. I haven't had my drink yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to need one after this interview. Let's go ahead on and get this thing started.
all right, Erwin, joining us now is Guy Sterling.
Hey,
Guy,
how's it going, Guy? Yeah, manager.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's all I can say is you're welcome. Here I am on a Saturday evening. A million Guy Sterling things to do, and here I am talking to you. You're welcome. Hurry up. This better be good, and let's go.
I mean, you say a million Guy Sterling things to do, but we're number one, obviously. So,
and we appreciate that. We really do. We really do.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. Is the respect. You know, I got a lot of things to do. You know, I'm a very important person, and yet here I am talking to you guys, giving you the rub. Then you guys get a little, notoriety about you with your little podcast show over there. What are your nice names? What is this? What is this? Good American, More than America? What is this? What am I doing here? I do a million of these.
Well, I'm the newest referee with EPW, Erwin the Fourth, and this is around the Colosseum. My co-host here, Johnny Aman. We're here to interview you. I actually wanted to ask you a quick question. How'd you feel about Lucian Lovelace winning Manager of the Year? I mean, you got a million things to do. Did you forget about that?
So, this, right out the gate, we're going with Lucian Lovelace, huh? Lucian Lovelace. Let me tell you about Lucian Lovelace. Fantastic talent, fantastic mind. I have a lot of respect for the man. I really do. There's just one little thing that I have a problem with Lucian Lovelace, okay? And is that when he signed Jack Tellis, which, fantastic. I mean, if I could have, I would have taken the man myself. 7 foot tall, 300 pounds, on NWA. Gonna do nothing but, bring notoriety to your clan, and that's great. But he promised him one thing. If anyone goes back to the tapes, and here's what Lucian Lovelace said. He said, and I quote, "I can give you Oklahoma." No, Lucian. No. Oklahoma's not yours to give. All right? Now, I don't know how they do things in Texas. At Bomb City bars, whatever little dives that you perform in and go to every night. I don't know how it goes down there. But as far as this zip code is concerned, this is Sterling territory. This is Guy's country. Guy's country. I like that. That sounds like a Texas country song, don't it? Guy's country. This is Guy's house. Empire is Guy Sterling's castle, and you've invaded. Hey, congratulations on your Manager of the Year. I'm very proud of you. I'm glad to see that you and the Psychotic Messengers have, made quite a names for yourselves here. I'm not going to deny that at all.
They've kind of cleaned up the awards.
They had cleaned up the awards. They had cleaned up the belts. Malachi. If anything, I respect you more than anybody. Look at you. You're the original messenger. Out of all those guys, see, everyone thinks I'm the bad guy. Everyone thinks I'm the heel. No. Malachi. You've replaced every single member in your faction that you built. What happened to Maniac Mike? What happened to that guy that was dressed like a dog? What happened to the werewolf? All gone. All replaced. Well done. I see you like to make upgrades, changes. Okay, I can respect that. But see, you got all the fans and people fooled, thinking you're this good guy, this savior, the guy who will carry the cross for Empire. But I see you. Trust me. Game recognizes game. You're new, sir. I see the game you're playing. Well done, Malachi. But to your faction, to your partners, Tank, Jack, hell, even Lucian, be careful, because I know a scumbag when I see one, man. Malachi. I see you. But hey, we'll see what 2024 has to offer. Next question. Let's go. I got shit to do.
I mean, it's definitely some shots fired at the psychotic messengers. Guy, you mentioned...
Not shots. It's not shots. First off, Jimmy, it's not shots. It's truth.
Even truth can be shots. It's how you say it.
Listen, tell me if I said something wrong. Tell me if I said an untruth there.
You said his name wrong first. It's Johnny, not
like
Jimmy.
Wikipedia, baby. That's all I'm doing.
I mean, like Erwin said, it's Johnny, not Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't been around Empire as long as you have. You're a day one guy, right?
Absolutely. I've been here since the doors opened.
Speaking of day one, you've been here for a while. How do you feel about the disrespect of Tigo not getting nominated?
What does this man have to do? What does he have to do to get a little, just a, hey, Tigo, great job. The man has won multiple tag teams. Joshua, look up Tigo's stats. Go on Oklafan. You know, Oklafan, the one, the site that didn't let him be nominated for Male Wrestler of the Year. Go ahead, look up his stats.
No, I mean, guy, there's no Joshua here, so.
Okay,
I mean, there's Erwin and Johnny.
Whatever your name is, the stat guy, whoever you are, Paul, hurry up, look up Tigo's stats. Show what he did. How many championships did he hold in 2023? How many?
I mean, he's definitely been around for a while. He's been in the business for about 16 years straight.
16 years, he's always held titles. He's always dominated. And just in the last year alone, Texoma Pro, Oklahoma champion. Texoma Pro, Texas champion. Empire Pro Wrestling champion.
Wait. So you're trying to cause some kind of conspiracy here?
For Male Wrestler of the Year? 0. Why? No one has a problem with this? Am I the only one that seriously has a problem with this?
So you think there's some type of plot against Tigo?
I mean, I'm not one to, call conspiracy or anything, but when a man holds multiple heavyweight championships at one time, that man's praises should be sung from the highest mountains in Black Mesa. It's Oklahoma, by the way.
And I get that, but your guy's kind of a dick. I mean, did you see? He just showed us MF for no reason.
Who cares? Who cares what his personality's like? Who cares if the man comes from the streets? Who cares if the man comes from the hovels? Who cares if the man comes from a mansion in freaking Connecticut? MJF. Okay?
I mean,
why is Tigo not getting the accolades and the recognition that he deserves? Like, it makes no sense unless it's a conspiracy of some sorts. I mean, would you guys have voted for him?
I mean, I personally have no real problem with the guy. I mean, other than the fact that he's a bit of a jerk. Other than that, I mean, he's very good as a wrestler.
paper alone, just look at the stats, look at the statistics, look at the accolades, look at what this man done, look at how many matches he's had, how many titles he's won. The man literally teaches at a school with Fuego del Sol. It was just on AEW, but this guy can't get on the nomination ballot.
Prize or something like that, and be like, yeah, hey, welcome back. Yeah,
Like this is what I'm talking about. Every time that I'm freaking trying to talk about, we're back now, huh?
Yes.
Oh, we're back. Oh,
Hey,
okay.
welcome back. We've seen the lost years you were talking about.
And this is what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to say it's conspiracy. I'm not trying to say that I'm crazy, but it is crazy that Tigo was not nominated for Male Wrestler of the Year in Oklahoma when he's held multiple championships. And I bring that up and all of a sudden I get cut off? Are you kidding me? Like, you can't write this script. You cannot.
It was nothing
write
on
this
our end.
script.
I promise you, it was nothing on our end.
Nope. Okay. With the big Empire Pro Wrestling banner behind Johnny Aman there. Did I get your name right? And I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name right before and all of a sudden I get cut off because I'm speaking truth. All I know is this right here is anyone who is associated with Guy Sterling holds gold. And that man that's holding gold right now apparently does not fit the demographic. The level playing field around here is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
You know, you're talking about how Montego Siga has gold right now. He won that by one of his accolades that should have got him as even just a nomination, being the EPW Sure Shot title winner. Are you afraid Malachi might do that? Cash in that title like Sika did on Logan Knight?
Malachi. I see you, Malachi. Okay? I see you, Malachi. I see you. Okay? Is it coincidence that Malachi is the only original psychotic messenger? What happened to Maniac Mike? What happened to the Wolf of War? Hell, what happened to the guy that was dressed like a dog? He used to parade around. No. They outlived their usefulness to Malachi.
Wait. You're trying to say that Malachi's just using his tag team partners?
I'm saying don't trust anyone in a mask. I mean, if Princess Bride taught us anything, don't trust a man in a mask. Malachi, I'm not trying to cause anything. I'm not trying to cause dissension in your ranks or mess up your little faction that you got going there with the psychotic messengers, but it's a brand new team you got there, buddy. It's not coincidence, because I don't believe in coincidences, that all those guys are gone, been replaced. All of a sudden you got this Sure Shot suitcase. You got your buddies in the nuclear warfare match. Here's what I'm telling Jack Talos and the rest of their messengers. I'm telling you, Lucian, be careful. Watch your back. You think I'm a piece of shit? I got nothing on the Savior of Saints.
Oh, good. And your guy, Montego, he's actually going to be taking on Tommy Too Good for the EPW Heavyweight Championship. You worried about that? Have you scouted Tommy?
Absolutely. Tommy Too Good. He is good. He's absolutely good. It's not just a name. Watch the guy wrestle last show. Very impressive. Seen him at a couple of other places. When I found out that he was going against Tigo for the World Heavyweight Championship here, I researched him. I went through his bio. I watched some tape. And yeah, Tommy is good. But he's not too good for Tigo. I can promise you that. He is a good opponent. He deserves to be in this match. But at the same token, you're just a warm-up, Bubba. You're just a warm-up for the next, whoever that could be.
I mean,
wow.
you say Tommy's not too good for Seek. It all depends on the night. Anytime, just 3 seconds changes championships.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, well, ask my last wife. I can do a lot in 3 seconds.
On that note, speaking of another member of your stable, the Prince, Romeo Reese. Now, we haven't seen the Prince since, I want to say, was it September, Johnny? At Harvest Heatwave?
Yep.
Yeah,
You
we haven't seen him in a while.
The Prince in Empire. The Prince has been coming to America, sowing his royal oats around Oklahoma. The man has been taking titles from other promotions. He's been bringing home money to Sterling Inc. The Prince is royalty. The Prince, Romeo Reese, will be king. And I can promise you that right there. Don't worry about the Prince. Prince is handling business.
Who do you think the Prince's biggest competition inside of nuclear warfare is going to be? Or you think he's just going to take the whole thing?
The Prince will do what is part of the plan. The biggest competition is probably Jack Talos. I mean, physically, literally, he's the biggest man in there. But Jack's got to worry about, if he won that match, how's Malachi going to react? And again, I'm not trying to cause dissension amongst the psychotic messengers and cause a rift. But that is a lot of mouths to feed, Lucian. You got to figure it out. You got to make sure everybody eats in your faction. You guys want to bring in more and more members. Well, you got to feed them. Figure it out.
Now, nuclear warfare, there's 2 mystery opponents. And one of your guys that's not on the card is Mitch Onyx. Is he the mystery person? And if not, why isn't he on the card?
He can't be that crazy. I mean, at that point in time, he'd have 2 people in his stable in nuclear warfare. I mean, if one of them wins, what's going to happen? Are they going to fight against each other at this point in time for the title?
But it'd be a 33% chance of winning, and that's not Steiner math for you.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, regardless of what you've been told, the numbers do lie. And they're not the only ones. Don't worry about Mitch, the greatest ever made Mitch Onyx. Okay? This guy, he's on a different level than a lot of people. Maybe he'll be there, maybe he won't. But I promise you this. Mitch Onyx will make an impact. And that's all I can say.
Old words from the manager of the Gold-Blooded Killers, Guy Sterling. Guy, sorry about the internet, the little hiccup there, but we do want to thank you for your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And one more time, you're welcome.
Yep. Thank you, and we'll see you January 20th at the Southern Oaks Recreational Center in Oklahoma City.
The nuclear warfare.
Man, those were some interesting words from Guy Sterling. I mean, what do you think about that?
I mean, I would not want to be that guy's intern. That guy ripped a new one, that's for sure. But he made some valid, good points in there. I mean, the Gold-Blooded Killers are actually on top. He doesn't seem like he's worried about this heavyweight championship match that Tigo's in at all.
I mean, he was more worried about the disrespect Oklafan gave Tigo by not even nominating him. I mean, Tigo in all the different areas, all the different federations, was not nominated for any Wrestler of the Year awards, and he's held titles and accolades all throughout the year.
Pretty much most of the very organizations. I mean, he does, again, make a valid point in that. He doesn't even seem to be too concerned about Malachi cashing in that Sure Shot briefcase, though he did have some very choice words to say about him. I mean, for him to say it takes one scumbag to know another one, I mean, and bringing up the fact that he was an OG with the Messengers.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go as far to agree with Sterling as calling Malachi a scumbag. That's between them. But he did bring up some valid points. Insane. Gone. Don't know where. Wolf of War. Injured. They replaced him with Jack Talos. not even a month. Manic Mike. Last I knew, he was in an insane asylum. Like, Malachi is the only original messenger left.
Yep. I mean, that makes a good point. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen with that. And you've got the Prince Romeo Reese is going to be in nuclear warfare, another member of his faction, the Gold Blood Killers. He doesn't seem to be worried about their chances at all winning that match.
Yeah, and like we brought up, he's got a man missing off the card, Mitch Onyx. He's not worried about Mitch not being there either.
And from what I've seen, when I've seen those guys, they usually travel in packs. So I'm pretty sure where you've got two of them, Mitch is somewhere around. I refuse the greatest ever made wouldn't make a showing.
Right. Well, not the greatest ever made, but our greatest commissioner at the moment, Christopher Samuel Dean. We caught up with him a little earlier. Let's go to what we heard from him.
Absolutely. All right, Johnny, it looks like we finally were able to get the commissioner on the line. Commissioner Christopher Samuel Dean, thank you, sir, for joining us.
Pleasure to be here, guys.
So,
go ahead, Johnny.
So let's not waste any time. Let's get into the juicy details. The reason why we have you, because we know you're a busy man. Tyler Watts, why is he still able to compete when he's brought up and called EPW cancer and a disease?
I mean, he was there in my first match. He had some very choice words to say about me and the organization as a whole.
Well, with Tyler Watts' in-ring comment / show, I really don't have much to say. I'm actually shocked, really. Myself and the rest of management staff have given Tyler every match he's asked for, and he basically is bit in hand that feeds him. There's nothing more I can comment about this situation at this time. He's got his match this coming up, and that's all I can say.
Can you comment about the Central All Pro Wrestling that he mentioned at some supposed new competition for EPW?
No comment at this time on that.
Okay. Let's see if we can move on to something a little lighter. The Internet Television Championship.
Okay.
Martin Justice has been hounding you for a while, trying to get his hands on the Foreman Red James, but seems like James has been a no-show. Now we've got the title vacant, and it's going to be put on in a fatal four-way. He doesn't seem to think that's fair that you've got him in a fatal four-way, but he's willing to play nice.
To be fair, Martin did say I made a fair call in stripping Red James of the title. But let's be honest for a moment. Martin was never going to get Red James in the Empire ring. With all the ducking and dodging that was going on, and if it did happen, I would have not allowed it to break down into the melee that transpired after the Harvest Heatwave. To which neither of them have yet to apologize for that fiasco. Yet I'm still giving Martin what he wants, a shot at reclaiming gold. Yes, he's the former international champion. Now I'm giving him a shot at the internet TV championship. He just has to go through three other competitors who I feel are just as deserving for a championship match.
I mean, when we talked to Martin earlier, he made it sound more if he wanted revenge against Red Foreman for leaving him busted open after Heatwave. But you say four other deserving men.
Three other
deserving men. Erwin, do you have? Well, it's Wrangler Red, Bud Barnes, and Malachi.
And Malachi, yeah, the winner of the Sure Shot briefcase.
Yeah, so what makes them deserving?
Well, you got Bud Barnes, who
supposedly the baddest man in Oklahoma.
Yes, supposedly you've got Malachi, who just won the Ladder to the Bank, or the Sure Shot ladder match. Who hasn't cashed in his title? He's just in it. And then you've got, who is it? Badger James?
No, Wrangler Red.
Oh, Wrangler Red. Well, Wrangler Red impressed me at
Fiber for the Holiday.
Was he there? Was he at that show, or was he at the night everything changed?
I think it was not everything changed because he was in the Sure Shot ladder match. He did do amazing there. Like, very impressive.
He impressed me there, and Malachi impressed me there by winning. So I'm inclined to give them the matches that they deserve. And I don't need to explain myself because I have a vacant title. I have a vacant title, so I can throw anybody I want in those matches.
But you could have also did the tournament.
I could have, but I'm not going to. So
Fair enough. Okay, Commissioner, as the ref, can you help clarify something just for me? You're saying that this is this new 10-minute time limit. Is there a method to your madness as to why we're doing this?
Erwin, what is the title? What is the title called? Think
The
about
Internet
it.
Television Championship.
Okay, so if this is the Internet Television Championship, where are we going to be posting this match mostly?
The Internet?
Okay, think about it. If we post this to TikTok, how long are those videos?
Oh, well, most people have the attention span of a goldfish nowadays. I understand that.
But what is the maximum time limit for the posting of those videos? 10 minutes.
Okay. So does that mean this Fatal 4-Way is 10 minutes as well?
Anything relating to the Internet Television title is going to be 10 minutes, regardless whether it's going to be a competition match, whether it's going to be a non-title match, whether it's going to be a title match. If it's involving the Internet Television title match, it's going to be 10-minute time limit. I stated that in my promo when I announced this. I don't know how to make it any more clear. Anything revolving around the ITV Championship is going to be 10 minutes from here on out.
Okay, fair enough.
And there we have that clarification now.
All right.
So the EPW Championship, I think it was the night everything changed. Tank Bryson was advertised going against Montego Sika. He couldn't make it. Montego wasn't at the fight before Christmas. Now Sika's gonna be there. Why not give us Tank Bryson versus Sika instead of Tommy Too Good versus Sika?
I'm actually glad you asked me this question, Johnny, because Tank called me, right? He called me on this phone right here, and he emphatically said, I do not want, as much as I would appreciate a match with Montego Sika, I want Trench Blythe. So I gave it to him.
Nope. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, because as of late, with Red James not calling and everything, I can see the value of just a simple phone call at this day and age.
The reason being is with everything that happened between Black Flag and the Messengers at the fight before Christmas.
Yeah.
And just a refresher for those that need it, at Fight Before Christmas, Black Flag cost Psychotic Messengers their tag team titles, and they cost Jack Talos the match in the main event, that was then the catalyst for Jack to join the Psychotic Messengers.
For the record, I'm still getting heat over that tag team match because I didn't see it. Yeah, definitely. I'm still getting some very nasty comments behind causing the Messengers to lose the titles.
And to be honest with you, I decided to put Tommy Too Good in because he impressed me at the night everything changed. So I decided to throw him in against Montego Sika. And with Tank Bryson and Trench Blythe both wanting gold, I have an open, I have a vacant championship for that. So they're going to be fighting one-on-one for the Open International Championship.
Yep.
That Wolf just vacated.
Well, Wolf didn't vacate it, you stripped it.
Stripping, vacating, I had to...
I mean, if the man couldn't compete, I kind of understand that. I mean, if he couldn't compete, he had no choice.
Still a vacated. It's still a vacated title.
Yeah, I mean, that started with a serious beef between him and Ozzy. Speaking of beef, what's up with Sika and BMF?
There's no beef between Sika and BMF.
Commissioner, with all due respect, sir, there was a serious shoulder check that happened.
Look, you gonna let me speak or you gonna interrupt me?
Yes, sir.
They're called the Gold-Blooded Killers for a reason. Doesn't matter who you are. May not be anything personal. It's just the fact that BMF have the tag team titles. Guy Sterling and his Gold-Blooded Killers want all the gold. They're like Rumpelstiltskin and Goldmember. Need I say more? If you've got the gold, they want to take it. Plain and simple.
Okay. Oh, I mean, let's just move on to nuclear warfare then, if that's the case. We see that we've got the card's pretty stacked, but you've got 2 spots that are still opened up. Do you have any idea? Can you give us a hint maybe on who those 2 people are going to be?
When it comes to the final 2 entrants in the nuclear warfare match, let this be known. I and I alone know who those 2 entrants are, and they have both asked me for their anonymity in this regard. So you can speculate all you want, but you ain't getting a dollar out of me when it comes to it.
Well, here's some speculation, and let's take a moment to watch a video put out by Dark Gemini. As you've seen in that video, he's coming January 20th. So did you book him in the nuclear warfare? I know you just said we're not getting a dollar out of him, but like, if he's coming, you had to have booked him. What you gonna tell us about Shadow Gemini?
And I mean, at this point in time, wherever you see Gemini, you're seeing Shadow Gemini now.
Look, Shadow Gemini is Shadow Gemini. I like to equate Shadow Gemini to regular Gemini, like Peter Pan's shadow was to Peter Pan. Disjointed from the main host, but always there. Shadow Gemini was around long before I was commissioner, and he'll be around long after I'm gone.
But Gemini is saying that that's basically E-Bone in the mask. Ever since he lost that match, he seems like he's just trying to find ways to worm his way back in.
Again, Shadow Gemini was around long before I even brought E-Bone back out of retirement, and Shadow Gemini will be around long after E-Bone is retired again. Matter of fact, I was on the phone earlier today with E-Bone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Apparently, he was doing toy drives and everything like that, during that time that it happened, and that's his alibi.
Which, you said you were on the phone with E-Bones. How is that overturning the stipulation of loser leaves town going for him?
We're still working some kinks out of some things. So
speaking of kinks, you signed a contract with the Saints of Pro Wrestling without looking it over, and it looks like the kink there is now Bud Barnes is timekeeper and Stone Wolf Duncan Kincaid is the special guest referee. How can you sign that contract and not look at it?
look, you want to ask about the Saints Pro Wrestling? Okay, let's get this off the table. For the better part of last year, they were suing me for breach of contract because I suspended them for their actions against our officiating staff and our in-ring talent following the conclusion of a match at Harvest Heatwave. But it turns out I was well within my rights to do so. When they won their number one contendership match, they never signed their new contract. Fast forward to why they're getting a title shot over. Fast forward as to why I signed the contract without looking at it. They came to me, if you were listening to their whole beef, they came to me and said, coming up in this business, they did things, they were told, you do things on handshake agreements, right? Which means you honored your word. There was no trickery, no backstabbing. If there was any trickery or backstabbing, it was done to your face. And I took the Saints at their word and tried to honor their request at a, quote, handshake agreement. So I signed their little contract. It went through my lawyers. It went through their lawyers. Both parties agreed to it. I didn't need to see it. You guys must have missed all of that in context, but that was what was said. I didn't need to see it. I was unaware of what was going on with it. Yeah. Did I make a mistake? Maybe. Did I get duped? Absolutely. Am I pissed about it? Yeah. But I don't need legal to review anything because I was holding them to a higher standard of honor. But I guess they just, I'm not going to finish this statement. We'll let their actions in the ring decide.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess that there's a method to your madness as to how their number one contenders and the Psychotic Messengers aren't even getting their rematch.
No. Don't get it twisted. They're only number one contenders to make the lawsuit go away. Them getting their number one title shot, or them getting their title shot in January, is to make the lawsuit against me go away. Because that's what they wanted in the first place.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily what's right for EPW, but what's right for you then is what you're saying. If the lawsuit was against you and
it's best for legal.
Best for legal. And it gives me time. It gives me better to focus on the upcoming commissioner election.
Speaking of which, I've got some questions about this whole Black Flag Rising Psychotic Messengers thing. because I was there and it seemed like they ran roughshod over the show, and it seems like they're able to do pretty much anything. Again, we've got the vacant international championship that they're on the line, and they're both in singles matches. But what I really want to know is, how do you seem to have every member of Black Flag Rising in some type of big match, including Nuclear Warfare, after what they've done in causing the tag team titles, causing Psychotic Messages to even lose their tag team titles?
Look, the fans want excitement. Fans want great matches. And I believe that putting a controversial group of individuals or even sprinkling them among matches that will bring that will bring that excitement. But I don't need to explain my decisions, nor do I need my decisions constantly being second guessed. The fans love it, and that's all that matters. And furthermore,
Commissioner, we're not second guessing it. I'm just personally, I saw you backstage talking to Black Flag Rising, and you guys seem like y'all were having a conversation. Next thing you know, they're in all these matches and their goal on the line. What did you guys talk about backstage?
What I discuss with talent backstage behind the scenes doesn't need to go any further than who I discuss it with.
So
it's none of anybody's business, and I'm not. And if you're not going to ask me, if you're just going to focus on this, you're not going to ask me the questions that really matter, like. I don't know.
That's not it. You said you're doing this for the fans. The fans want to know what we were talking about, what you guys were talking about backstage.
And you have a seemingly secret deal with a group who's came in to tear down Empire. They said that in their promo.
It's just not a good look.
I don't have a secret deal with anybody to tear down anything, but what we discussed, what me and Black Flag Rising discussed, is nobody's business. And if you're not going to sit there and ask me questions that are relevant, like questions about the Jason Simon Father Padge fight and what I think it would be, and whether or not I think it would be a great tragedy if Father Padge lost and left EPW, or if you're going to sit there and ask me, not going to sit there and ask me about the upcoming commissioner elections and how I think late last month Guy Sterling gave me the greatest Christmas present ever that Silver-Tongued Weasel could ever do by dropping out of the election and leaving it only to me and CM Burnham, then I think this conversation is over.
But Commissioner, did we lose?
Well, yeah.
Oh. Hopefully we're both employed. I don't think I did anything wrong. We were just trying to get some answers. He says he was doing this for the fans, and we haven't got any answers. I just want to know what I'm stepping into.
Yeah, I mean, when people, in my history, when people like that aren't willing to give you straight answers, they're up to something. And I don't know if it's just stress or if he's actually got something up his sleeve, but we'll just have to wait and find out.
I don't know. I don't know that, but definitely. I mean, we did get some good answers. Let's at least, celebrate some of the highlights. We got some good answers. What do you think about that? The entire division now is under a 10-minute time limit. That's going to be interesting.
I mean, NWA does it for their TV title. They have a 6:05, 6.5-minute time limit for their matches. Those matches don't really interest me because there's not enough time frame for them. And that Fatal 4-Way, and in 10 minutes, those guys are really going to have to push it.
Yeah. Like Martin says, they're going to have to whoop the hell out of each other in 10 minutes straight.
What do you think about Tank actually calling the commissioner and being like, no, I want Trench Blythe instead of Montego Sika?
Now, I'll definitely say that for me, I appreciate the fact if he asks for it, then so be it. After what happened to them, I get that. And Commissioner's a little hurt right now because people aren't answering his phone call. So I can definitely see him being happy that someone actually answered the phone call for him. So if Tank actually asks for the match, no harm, no foul. I just have a problem with Black Flag Rising getting all of this preferential treatment after what they just did.
And I'm right there with you. Now, you got upset and ranted saying we weren't asking about the important stuff, and he brought up Father Padge versus Jason Simon, and it hasn't been announced yet, but that's a no DQ match. I mean, I was hoping we can get to that eventually with him, but
Yeah,
what do you
and
think
apparently the added stipulation of that if Patch loses, he's done.
I mean, Patch put that in on a so
That's a bold claim. You haven't seen too much luck as of late. I mean, with E-Bone and everything, I don't know if right now you actually was the best time of year to be doing that kind of stuff.
I mean, new year, new trajectories for careers.
No, this is true. No, I would definitely like to see if we can get a conversation with either one of those people, either at the show, preferably before their match. See if maybe we can talk to them.
I mean, we'll just have to see how busy we are.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's life around the Colosseum, right? I mean, there's always something going on.
Well, Erwin, since we have finished with the commish, I think the only thing left to do is I'll catch you January 20th, Southern Oaks Recreation Center, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Yep. Same here. Hopefully we both are still employed after upsetting the commissioner. If not, I will see you at Nuclear Warfare, January 20th.